Viewers, as a personal request to your support, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time there is new content that is released, you are able to be notified without you struggling. We appreciate your support, and by our stats, we are able to tell that about 50% of those of you who watch our content, you are still not subscribed. Remember, subscription is for free so that we are motivated to continue producing the kind of content that you truly love, enjoy, and actually support. Let us continue with the episode.
Greetings, welcome to Dallas M Podcast. I'm your host, Senakongwedi Mutau Nsepecha Boshigo. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love support and we love the energy and love you give us. Introduce to our guest, one of people who are dedicated and passionate about self-empowerment and development. You can know from TikTok, David Mikhail.
Yeah.
David, welcome to Dallas M Podcast. How have you been?
No man, Dallas M, and I think it's been a long time coming. Yeah, I quite love your work. Some of the work that you do. Of course. If we don't do this ourselves, then yes.
No, that's nice. The team arena. I think we are humbled by what you have said. Besides that, the passion, man.
Yeah.
The love and the passion of self-development.
Yeah.
Why?
I come from a family, a very united family. And one of the reasons why I'm passionate about self-empowerment, in a group of 5 people, only the only one who is, for instance, financially stable or home educated. The other 4 were too much of a weight. And when your influence now, then my fellow so my passion for it stems from the understanding the rest of us refer my fellow and my fellow any impact amongst us who has really made it. So my passion is from that one. It kamuka than he ba mo tere mo image ka makare na re image buti tso se as for now need to know Gaston re image ena because re na le re ka bolela arena the financial strength arena the know how ya re ka gona gore re tsweletse our own ideas. Yeah.
Khata go mention to community and family.
Yes, exactly.
Just to check a bit of the background or about your community you and kimoka o chokoka.
Yeah. Kitwa ko moletse ga makibelo. It's about 30 Ks out of out of Polokwane ka R521. My ladies, all days, that's all days vivo. And yeah, it's I grew up in the true sense community. Back in the days when we were still growing up, you know, everybody, like literally but now with urbanization, integration, move from one place to the next. There are times more this other time in and out. And then go taxi rank, then taxi and then I couldn't recognize even a single person. So I kept saying to them, sorry, I can't even realize 1%. And because of such dynamics now, it also speaks into now the empowerment becomes very much important because I fell at that community level. Like it was a literal barking program. So I come from that kind of a community, and yeah, I think the empowerment pankur ukumana belo sa khonu o mo ka ya Sunny Side gona it's worse kwa ka warra mara mo gana mola o roba la ise because gona that disintegration, but anyway it's one of those.
Now, but for people prevative, do you think you can be one of the things, as you mentioned, or some people now, constructive or achievement, or so far, I feel or a motogar or email, motogar or handshake. Do you think that part it played a big role into motivate a female or a scatterless like one?
Yeah, I think every development it talk about a guarded because if you are like take for instance one school IT for instance here you join a particular company, they are still going to take you through training. It's because all that they are guarding over your development. We know you've learned a lot of things, Maramo. This is what we require of you, because otherwise we can't even relate with and need because it's any school. But that training go focus all of that so that we are focused. And now why am I giving that scenario? Is because now what security do we have? So like TV. The family structure, if it are run into this new regime, people have access to things. Like a session in one day. But back in the days in the little because otherwise it's glowing. So that development, in my own view, because it took what we call the apologetics. Family. So that we place a family at the center of that development. And you don't even understand and so now I think truly that development rate in our communities, but we want to move from Polokwane, and stuff. Then I mean, or at risk, and the highest risk was towards the family. Because now, okay, yes. But it's like and that's because people have found a way. And it's like we don't have a way. Correct. So yeah, I think it played a serious significant role.
What, because cultural identity, it can be something or a fetish hole.
Yeah.
And then still reference or
yes.
And then again also a government
yeah.
If it was a liberation within it.
Yes.
So what's your take on that?
I was having a discussion and this other, I think that guy is a professor. It was after some event, and then he was commenting on something that I said, and I said to him, Prof, the problem going now, as we were progressing and things were evolving, the political space, the change post 1994, and all of those things. One of the things that we the focus even now that there is a political freedom, because now access. It's like I want to okay. The Zulus and then the vendors a blended global village. What impact will this have on the coming generations? And because of that now, our cultures, they don't have a space in the 21st century. Number one, and it's because now one of the reasons why pride is because now our focus has become now that liberation, the political liberation against one. In fact, we are getting to everybody now. grab all these opportunities. Now, there is a way that we have been raised. The fundamentals, the principles, and I mean, a joke that I usually make is yes,
and by nature, I don't think we're going to
yeah.
If you know, most of the things I used to pay attention to Baravanya.
Yeah.
And even like one of those but I push winter after.
Oh, yeah.
Then I start to learn life different on normal. You check out in over recreated that system more.
Yeah.
One more module and rat.
Thank you.
Look, one last time I Udo wana gole shapo udumedisha everyone.
Yeah.
Oba o tabela everyone.
Yeah.
Unless otherwise montlong konale moyo singwala tha.
All right.
But ngwana adulang garagala tha. Everywhere uno what that thing. Abeki no no bonchore. Yes, but mo igabe mabaka trile mo swing agosala magai.
Yeah.
Naturally and also is one of the standard moral.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you get to certain places where it's not that I think you practice like everybody, and it's because people have built high walls. You don't even know who's your neighbor, and barking too much. Today your neighbor, tomorrow your neighbor. Some renting. So you are most probably going to see this person again and again and again and again for forever. But now that mentality where cultural or rumedisha batho ke thompo go fita mo khudumedisha batho thobela ba no kwa ka thobela yore mo we don't do such things okay re ba dumedisha ba re ke ashe if they need something from you so that's why now ultimately you realize or cultures jarena adisana malikumana space, and one of the problems why this ability space in the 21st century is because we refused for them to evolve. That's why kerna liberated against struggle and whatnot. How then do we now make sure we translate our culture what relevant even in the 21st century? And that's why right now practice it's almost as if I think we are not from anywhere. We can't too much over anybody else. But I think the Zulus, they still even have cultural events. They keep that identity. No matter where they are, they are Zulus. But with others, I wish we could learn so that we can keep our cultures and our identity even as we progress. Yeah.
Where can we start?
Yeah. Well, one of the best place to start, kid generation yare, and the reason why I get a saw is one of my 80s hoga level now because of these mediums and platforms where we are able to speak. Renari regeneration in between. That's why I'm prevalently after us 2000. But now renari a touch lay our mothers. We are coming from the generation Yabu Marena, but they still had a taste of what culture is. So, number one, I was breaking it into a generation of give another right generation because we are standing in between two changes. Baba 2000 nobody is going to and I want to come home because now they've got the freedom to do whatever that they want. Therefore, they've got access to phones and they've got access to internet. But when they were not there before. And because of that, practice at like practical example. Why it's because Mama who is my age. And that's why as we were progressing towards bargain, who create in this 21st century, this change and focus on how do we develop and position ourselves for opportunities so that we can be able to live. Recreating an idea of what it means to be for nugget. An idea of so that's why Rena can have a mata our ring. Baba Tankamra Rena. Rena Sana an idea, a bit of an idea. That's why get a village go calling Yalongi MC. And then ge re thoma program ke rao na ke morasu ke mmamošidi a tsoku tšhenene a bomabe ba le maphetša wa humaneng tatwana mmago e sego a tšea tatwana a di a seale ke re ke mokone ke lebešana makamolelona maapitša o diega. Like as I was saying this, you could see my peers, they were lost. They enjoyed it. They have an idea about what it was something that we enjoyed. It was our pride. But now, I go to graduation in Jabon. I knew that graduation in Ushumile go. And they're like, okay, this is the same person who what went wrong? What really went wrong? So that's why I get it. Our social media platforms and these platforms of to get across the world. For people to make an awareness, it is still okay to be paid and be woke. Like you said, a comment, there's this balance that you have. This balance, we should make people aware now. The generation that comes after us, Oscar Taguma this term, Lina Langwana Kidiboni, I get Mama reality Lina like Kidiboni, which symbolizes by the time on there could have been a number of things that were happening in Kamora. Yeah, a symbol, Mapula, and that B-O-N in Yadi Boni, more like Boni, Alarab. And you're like, what are the and that's because now Rena as the generation from our mothers, giving birth to the generation that is coming after us. Our focus has shifted so much that our development did not take into consideration our identity. So we are the right people move.
Another thing, as much as transform, the liberation, what do you think if South Africans, vernal culture, one?
I think there is a lot of beauty in diversity, and like that's why we're about opposite attracts. And having one culture, as much as maybe from the context of what we see, I wouldn't necessarily want to live in a society where there's one culture. Because now, look at this. We were having a conversation with someone, and I said, it is in failure where now we are able to learn new ways. This camera, has to be on, and we have to shoot. Now, the fact that right now the camera is misbehaving, to press and to what are they Google, the same camera to learn about this camera is because something went wrong. So now, I'm putting this into context to say now, that culture, a different breed from us. It is a flavor. Without one, in my own view, honestly, life would be boring. So the unfortunate thing, to be well integrated. Tribalism. And because of that, we can't share opportunities with those ones. You feel in a position where you wish maybe another culture one. Then the Vegas will in our diversity. So I believe so strongly in diversity. So it brings different elements, and which is one of the things that makes South Africa to be the way that it is. 9 official languages. Okay, I know, but Nigeria they've got like 52 or I think it's 52 or something. But Renamu, one of the things that you get to enjoy is that they share the same skin color. Mara, they've got a way of that they view life. There are skills and a way of doing things alone is different from how I do things. And by so doing, information is being shared. We are being empowered by just being around each other. So I believe in diversity more. Yeah, in one culture, yes, no. But I think the diversity, I think in my own view, but I would say it's a gift from God that we should always cherish. Yeah.
The language part, what's your view on having the same language? Common.
Yeah. I mean, we're already doing it. It's just I say and I think our ignorance, is difficult. I mean, I remember when I was still in university, I used to hang around a lot with Tsonga people, Tsonga speaking people, and a bit of vendors here and there. But I took a serious liking to be able to speak stronger and even be able to hear it. And now, in the process, you begin to realize what now. Remember, it's beyond the language. It's the identity and the DNA of our forefathers that has translated itself in a way that we can communicate their feelings, their emotions, and their views. So that language is what distincts us from the rest. So having this, we do have a common language. It's just the unfortunate thing, it's to our detriment, because now, that language, Mara find it difficult to learn Venda, to learn Zulu and every other language. So now, for us to come together into one language, it would have an advantage. How? Because now that's from Cape to Limpopo. You can be able to communicate whatever that you need without being judged. But now, as I refuse to come so it would be of advantage if we were to come to there. And because I believe so much that it would be of advantage, then every one of us, I would encourage us, or in going forward, in the coming year, that person who speaks Venda. To speak to Chivenda. And then all Setswana, Stonga, Zulu, and everything else. Because we're given an opportunity for you to be able to communicate in their language. So, no, the language is native, the difficult. So, I agree. My view is, yes, if we had one common language, it would be of advantage. But also, there is also another opportunity that has presented itself before us. There are 9 official languages that are recognized in South Africa. We've got no excuse or now. Why can you get some peripheral? Why can you at least think that no JP digital? So, but that's why ignorance of what you're and a little I get or self-hate. In a little you can look at somebody right across the table who looks exactly like you and view them as an enemy. And I don't want us to go into that because we don't belong to particular political parties. But having the same language, I think it would be of great advantage to us as people. Yeah.
No, I understand our sometimes gasna bua khetor le hlawa kae o wa se le khetele mare ge lo wetse mo gona le go hlabi ntwe ke le tshepišano rumo la rena ga lena ntlhanele ya go batša ya wa lena poison no gore ke la gore le badinyana le pele jikele le tlo ba le la right no ke nngwe gore nyaka eo so regarding that our generation are we worried about bringing into the better places where we have advantage for Navarre?
Young way, it will really go because the rule of divide and conquer. So now we officially later, and then we deal la mahuma. Now you only have to do this. I think 21 days or so. After this, it can't go beyond this because now Letswalela has been registered in the mind. It is no longer our view of freedom is, in my own view, sometimes distorted. And that is what brings us into this disintegration. And I will say it here and because this should be a safe space. We've got too many political parties. And because of those too many political parties, especially amongst us as black people, we are speaking in silos because there is power in the numbers. And beyond having power in the numbers, in those numbers, how many of us really have the skills, have the knowledge of taking us forward? Because the reason why Gabriela like this Morara is because now, Gabriela about taking ourselves forward. all our ideologies, we are fighting for the same thing. But then re separate I remember one time I was in Cape Town. There is a fully fledged organization for a particular tribe, South Africa. But they even have their own calendar, their own events. And when I looked at it, as much as I celebrated Tabaoring, I also realized that they have distanced themselves from the rest of us. So because of that, ZB, what and then so now the question becomes now, do you see others participating in ZB corner or kindoyarnaya yamapedi? So wabona ntwela or yarna yamapedi in print ntwela go utanya na hore mopedi le ga sepela go ga tlhakana le motsonga because of being part of that group e ka budia gore letswa le la le namele bo felitsiri major aka sona go thusha mothola because ase mopedi. And then you see it in so many places. So because of this ntwela le tshwantse gore e re fe mata, it has become our weak point. So the question to say now, is the current generation, are we really conscious? Are we focused on making sure now we get better? And no, we are too independent to can work together. There's no collaboration amongst us. That's why and amongst other things, we've got too many political parties still worrying. Well, I will just cover 2 million. Whereas Reverend Karna have 10 million. One voice, 10 million. And of course, but I am putting this out there to say, we could be achieving so much more, faster and quicker, if we were willing to let go of this. But again, organization, but then at the end of the day, are we not one? If our focus was to say we are one, we need to keep our identity. But to Shibaki deform, to this day was another plague deform. They are in English and in Afrikaans. When will we get there? And we are fine with it. And why? It's because all of us now, because of only tree, organization, only tree, because if so I don't necessarily think we are focused on the impact of some of the things that we are doing currently, and we'll get to a place. The unfortunate thing they will not, in fact, they will not even reflect us in any way. They wouldn't even but in true practice, they wouldn't even consider the things that we use, what we consider to be sacred. So I don't really think we are focused in that. Yeah.
Because right?
Yeah.
Normally society structural pillars.
Yes.
Can also give us spelling kana pekerke. Margi ki or ki kota tse leng gore tshwarela ka tsona go kana fa jama phelare ka baka la gore I think or ki tse leng gore le Ramaphosa ka ro fa address o mongwe wa tsona di kota tse no ska ya mo ngano se
yeah.
So ke tsona tse le ba pala ka ro le golo kudu gore aga o renka tsona ka mo tabeng ya gore ka review or ke advice o ka ifang or do o bona gore dina le problem e le go hloka go lokiswa mo go tsona gore ke nyaka go fa yona wena ka mmono wa gago go ka thomiwa kae go ba di right ka mo go dileng ka gona ba di hloka go adjust.
Yes. What it's a good thing when culture, tradition, and religion. I usually say this, or they are man-made.
Definitely.
Yeah, religion. Religion is when man acknowledges that there are powers or there is a life and forces beyond what I see with my own naked eyes. So, religion, we are not necessarily, it encompasses whether it's African spirituality, whatever. And then somebody will say, no, you are wrong to say African spirituality because spirituality is beyond religion. But now, a layman understands that religion is man's way of trying to identify the force that is beyond himself, to connect with the cosmic. Number two, tradition is what I practice in my own house, and culture is what we practice collectively. So now, these three systems, they need to be improved drastically. Why? Because some of the things that we were practicing as a form of religion back in the days they were mainly focused on us protecting ourselves against our enemies. Because at that moment, we needed to fortify ourselves. And now, instead of us now, we can't rely on our human strength only. And then they don't even understand what now why all of that there are deep meanings I don't want to get into because so because of that, so we've had to find a way. How then do we fortify ourselves? And to this day, you hear it being practiced by other people. You see, so there is knowledge and there is a whole vast system in place. Are there more than just human? So now the question becomes, like I said earlier, traditions. From just now, then where do we place our religion in a way that it is able to benefit us all? Defend. Unfortunately, I mean, knowledge connected with the cosmic. And you ask yourself, why then do we do this? It's because that knowledge is still there. But the unfortunate thing is maybe documented because it's so just like culture, traditions, in the 21st century, a seat because number one, they were too stubborn and rigid to accept. I'll go for a quick example. But kalabaka la re le fase le kopane ka moka ngwana re na shuke utswa Limpopo o kopana le ngwana o mongwe o na le kgarebe mo o kopana le ena mo Gauteng kgarebe ye tswa Eastern Cape or Western Cape yena o tswa Polokwane re tlo ntsha magadi mara instead o re na re toge mo re travele Polokwane ka chelete re ya Western Cape a re direng e re sa tla beng a Zoom meeting. You get or kakwa dingela ba bie ka mogolo re di camera tse ke tsa Dallas M re bolela ka mogoki mo le fase di tlo re kwa le fase tsigelen but no, let's do the same. So le na ba ka bua sa dingela ke tukisheng le ke pia kaneng ngatana ya lena le rena re tlo ba gona ka moki so re bolela re ya le bona re negotiate taba ya magadi tja dile re tlo go kopana e bo re kopana celebration namle be ka re nya tsa setho re nya tsa setho bang ka lebaka la gore taba golo mo ke gore re rere bana ba babedi and because of this namile o khumana gore batho namile the question is what is the relevance of lobol
and relevant ka go tlhotse setho ke man made
it's a setho
and le na go mathomba se dira laptop e di so bona ba go sena gore ba ka dira Zoom
Zoom the principle mo ke go re nya ka go rera magadi a bana ba babedi so we are still adhering to the principle mara jwana re change the how not the what civilization should change the how do we then communicate le be le senda le ngwalo ga le ra ke tlo go senda le ngwalo ke romela email le krea ga di jwa le no that like post office bile ya wa shile but now ge o thoma o botsa batho re bona in the days when we were about le be le sena laptop e gona ga di jwa how do we integrate it into
no go sena di jina so re ba rata go ba sena option
ba sena di option re ka le na le yona and ba go nya ka go tsia ntola we integrate into this everything is wrong. That's why generation can't understand where they are coming from and we are the right we are at the right bridge to can do this. So these three systems, in my view, they have to be improved. They need to take into consideration where we are and then be able to serve our communities better. Because unless we do that, we're going to tell people blame Arena and they're not blame you. It's fine. And then by so saying, we are losing ourselves and our identity. They are going to diminish one day. We go towards one world order. We are already preparing ourselves very well. We are positioning ourselves for Yona without us even lifting a finger. So I think they need to be reviewed. They have to. They must. It's urgent actually.
Yeah, thank you. We will have a zero. We feel patient. We are pretty no, we are No, we below Molinaka. You can need because of the sooner about to tour eulogy building made and kana kweo kasi musana kweo.
Yes.
And now look into these things, you separate the
yes.
And jar delay for a long time. More longer very eulogy longer Sanje year kopan because come on the common thing you will go better na mapulare. If you look on a mapulare, no, I ask a lot of engagement to Lord. When you are if in na Kidumela, you just say, or maybe I'm a traditional healer.
Yes.
Kepala go to share momento o monate, never to Christian. Once you get to make it then. That mentality and so forth. So you get to ask yourself, if that was the case, and then why don't we convert these into more tangible and become more economically driven?
Yes.
I'm just saying, if really tsela ya go nor motho ba bona ska bona wa re sa fatle na ga tse dingwe ra tse dilo mola go bona I'm just saying gore this thing go right level is more like someone who understand the power within whatever batho ba itira I direct her to the wrong direction and generation by generation rata to that wrong direction because of now is one on delay to be honest as an African society.
Well, you're even reminding me of something the other time, and I'm saying this with the humility of heart. Well, the Maspala, they have castrated them out of authority. Because now we're not out of the between the two of us. If Kenako fan Nezia, I get Kerwara, Yawana on your railway, Swaramuna Utusha, all right? When I watch one, or a ashing as a naked taking no shua, what's her in Kilignor. Can I leva Nagua Gaiguali, Eriki Kiva, Kioba Nuisha the wall, all right? Which is to say, Bana in this instance, but represent the community that you are leading. And then when you are depending on me for the supply of water, for you to give to those children. So now, because of this, when I would have fell away, Mikel Mona, Vigir Mezel Mona, I get to walk a mona, get 2 liters on going to get a 1.5, and then Mara, away after 2-3 days, get a go check one or not, get a shall I go on orchid, 500 milliliters shorter. But now they are not aware that we're not the authority has been taken away from me because now your dependence is on me. And when they don't have access to me. Why am I saying this? Look at how now Mantona they don't have a voice. They are recognized. Look at how the ones are fact to fact. Look at the way they are treated. How the ones that are in KZN are being treated. Those ones are made. Go and Google and understand what Ngonyama Trust is.
Stipend the lady 4x4 to Sinche.
Budget. The state let's say Yagotora, the Kikaimu, Yagotora Mahoshia, Kwani, Hikaka, Yagotora, Le Wahum, Yagotra Street, Yatubatsamon, are what?
They are 37.
R37. Kikits like Salakamohonola to this day. With all those minds and who touch on that road on a daily basis. It's a chrome or key. Whatever. And really see Yansele. Yes, Yansele. Marbato which are no Mantona Moaguan. Kimama enjoying the benefit of Abaguan. Because all of them now they become subjects to the municipality. That power even now they can even divide land and it's because now things have now become something else. But that's why give one of such programs driven from Mushad. A quick example, imagine I think Mushata Hono Vicha Banaba Mukamuka. One Hote Hoshi or Batamela. Very fit with all our qualifications. Agriculture, Dulamul, Baba Tutina agriculture. Would you never talk about nix? re ka se re na le molala o mokakakaka wa go nyaka matso wa agriculture ba le batho ba bararo now re ntšha molao mo ntong mo mošate mo ke re na go na le a fund e re nyakang go e tsoša ya gore nka mo agriculture re nyaka go bona re na le di-graduates tše 50 in the coming 4 years di-engineers ba tabela ge re fetša mola ka moka bona gorena le a bona motso a bona ka mokgwa o tlo tang wa yang pele without your involvement mara ga di bane mo lengwe ke moja sa ge wa ke pheta and because of that now le ko mošate le bona they had to think for themselves ke tlo dula mo ke nnetse gore ke nna bogoši boela ke šetse ke bona gore bo ritule ka matsogo botsebotse o šetse leina teng le bona namile they go to mo e le gore ba ka kgona go kry-a something so go bolela kgantho e le gore di-stipend le di-4x4 ke tsona tse namile di ba le batjang gore nke tse rena ke rena dikgošene maatlane because a tšerwe a go sana nto re ta idea masepala kona o le gore wa re buša and once o bolela municipality o bolela political parties once o bolela political parties o bolela disintegration once o bolela disintegration everybody it boils down to say that we are divided and because of that we will never conquer.
No, we remile because all begin in the mindset.
And even our traditional leaders, they can come to what if they transform the how, now with where we are now, how do we package what we are selling? How do we now make research to say, but are they right? But now those programs
and if you that industry mine, what about the standardize? And then we are not taking away gift here when I different.
No.
Obviously, the medical doctor.
Yes.
So that thing you nega to share liberate l'economy nega goal. So as self-empowerment.
Yes.
And then uno summarize and then untsana ga mogara gore batho ba go tšamba le seemo seo where can they start going forward?
Now self-empowerment it starts with the need. You are empowering yourself in a particular area where you see deficiency or where you've got an interest. And because of that, now, or either systematic or grounded, the first thing is we need to identify where you are. That's why you identify where you are. Environment. To say, okay, this is where I am. Number two, you must be an observant student to say how are things being done. You must be observant. Self-empowerment. Number three, you must be willing, you must cultivate an open mind to say there is more than one way to reach the destination. Gonale N1, gonale R101. Even gonale Muroto road. Ditsela tse ka mka tsona di ge o ka di sepela. Una le ba fitleng polokwane ka go.
And gonna let play.
And gonna let play. And because of that, you need to keep an open mind. The truth out there. Do not hold on and be resistant to change. That's the thing. Once you've identified the need and you are observing the world around you, now how are others doing other things? And you are a student, you are an observant student. You keep an open mind. What that does is it places you in a place where you are now able to, number one, learn effectively without getting your fingers burned. Because experience will get the best teacher. Mara, you're not going to live long enough to have every form of experience. Borrow from others and then pay. You touched on a very important aspect. One of the greatest ways to keep people in check is fear. One of the ways to keep people in check is to make them fearful. Because once they are fearful, they are not thinking straight. The truth of the matter. If you are actually, without even asking, and because of that, now self-empowerment, the reason why it has to be grounded is because because knowledge puffs up. That's what knowledge does. So in self-empowerment is realizing where you are. Where you are, it also takes into consideration your identity, your limitations, your skills, your strengths, and your weaknesses. That's the audit that you do about yourself. David what are the biases? It is consistent and let me observe those who are making it what exactly are they doing? you are starting to learn. By learning, you are empowering yourself. So you don't lose yourself as to at the end of the day, you are able to now navigate yourself through without losing your identity. When you keep an open mind, in some of these things they might work. What is working for others might not work for you. And you need to make peace with it. We learn, we read them in books, they apply in our lives. Hey, you let them go. You keep an open mind. And by so doing now, before you know it, you look at your life, you say, no, I've improved from here to there. There is the last thing. Is because now exposure, there are better things out there than what you are looking at. Someone who is not well traveled, their world starts and ends with them. But someone who is well traveled, there is another way. So what I'm saying in essence is to the best of your ability. Don't be too rigid. We are living in a global village. There is a space for you as well. And the only way that you can be able to put yourself in a place where you can harness the strength of others is to be a student and to keep an open mind. To keep an open mind. And now there are people who are making it without going to school. It causes frustration in your mind to say, we can school. But that's the thing. What tomorrow realize about there is something we missed about going to school. Let us go back and empower ourselves. By so doing, how many people do you know by now they are paralyzed because they've paralyzed themselves because of an qualification? You have insulted a graduate, but that graduate is already done. By so doing, so that graduate needs to be empowered in terms of what actually education is. It is the reason why you are still held back. Successful. You need to liberate yourself and understand why a graduate does not make you all know it. And the reality of the story, you are a graduate as you are, but you don't have a job. So why don't you open your eyes on Papa around me? Driver Uber. Retail. So in the meantime, as I'm waiting for my own, I will empower myself with a skill. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. I think we summarize it. To our viewers, unfortunately, it's a magana. I feel like there's a lot, and unfortunately, hit the comment. Clarity. Passport ready and then from David himself or focus more self-empowerment. As a result, go and then it will twist relationship. Comfortable. So ask about comfortable Arska Chavango, one of my fast, are day by day, are to take Wanaka lead to Tonga, root love, and go on a fellow share content there. David Mtumagaro Mutali Magaj, especially Baron Folango TikTok. Day by day, no fellow like a surprise. Mostly we didn't know or pale. And then our members at the or MC. So, until we got a guess, Ogaru chicken bomb. No, maybe Nagala, surprise. So, cannot go for David. Yes.
We are establishing ourselves in the events management and organizing and whatnot. We do have our own sound equipment. Le band, regular band, live music or your DJs for various events, be it whatever event that you want. Yeah, we are able to cater for you. Got PA system and then a little band if you want it. Of course, I'm an MC, so they fall under events. So we are able to place ourselves, and then for those by law, that's what events management. Can you just take Kianyala on this date? Here is, and then we are able to create that package. We have teamed up with other chefs, professional chefs. We have teamed up with other service providers for various services. So basically, what we are focused on is events management, and we have seen great growth in this year. So what I can check is because the people have been entrusting us with their events, and we have been growing. So that's what I do. And on the other side, it's our offices. This is where we do a lot of our life coaching sessions, relationship coaching, or you feel stuck in your career or whatever, you just want to know how do I unlock my potential. We are available to can help you now, get you to your next level, whether be it in relationships, professionally, academically, and or even in business, because otherwise it boils down to entrepreneurship. So we offer those services as a life coach. That's one of the things that I'm focused on. And the last thing, but if you fall under the events, to say there is another chef whom I've teamed up with, Unyaka will provide the lunch on specific days. So a poster will be out, you'll be told there will be entertainment, and then they will serve lunch there. So but you will know about it, because otherwise it's everything that we are actually doing: MCing, sound, band, and organizing of that event. But that's, in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Let the viewers, there's a lot to capitalize on.
Yes.
So how they can contact you?
Yeah, my number, can I give
Yes.
Yeah. Our office number is 068 079 7746. 068 079 7746. On TikTok, I'm David Mikel. On Facebook, same David Mikel. And on Instagram is Dave_Mikel. That's how you can get a hold of us. And then just send us an inbox, and then we'll give you your own personalized code.
So the different one in terms of motor anya godzor or give David entertainment company on event organizing everything amongst others of along.
Yes.
Why send give it David?
Now the event to us, because we've been in the space for a long time, one of the things that I've realized is that people provide service, we provide experience.
Okay.
People want the people that we work with, Baba Pian, it's not about bringing food to your event. It's an expression of their gift. For them, it's, when they are there, it's like serving your guests with the best of what they have. So it's not just, that's why when they sit down to explain, they will take you through a series of discussions. Sound. It is not just, how many seaters? 300 seaters. Okay, fine. Okay, no. They sit down with you, the pros and the cons, so that whatever you are paying for is value for money. That's why the same it happens to the food. For example, get the food to say, the people, it's not just about passion. For them to be at your event, they have brought their mind, their soul, and their spirit. The success of your event, they know that their contribution towards what people are going to eat is more than just food. They want to create an experience where people are going to say, hey man, what's why it was a simple dish, starchy, protein, vegetable, mara, the food was proper. So what we bring to the table is that we bring the soul. It's not just providing service. We want to work with you the entire journey, so that the product of your event, you are also just as proud as we are proud.
So last one, or everyone would provide the best service without any constraints.
Yes.
Can you expect them from Batoro? Or the expensive challenge is women being challenged.
Yes.
So or about fellow about here, why do you give a pay or to a service or is move to get the best out of you?
This is what we do on a weekly basis. This is it's like our bread and our butter. So the only thing could keep an open mind. Don't share your vision. When we are sitting on the table to discuss, let's say discuss a table setup, what has to be on your table, decoration. The entire, we want your vision to come alive. And for your vision to come alive, sometimes that's not, we have passed that level here, decoration. The sound, so the view, no, it can work better. Just keep an open mind. Change your vision. We want to help you bring it to life. Because like I remember there was an incident who discussed what about color. And then about this one does not complement this one. And then the person was forcing, no. It was ugly. Reset up with the table. Is this what you want? Yeah, no, this is what I want. And I'm like, hey, man, yeah, to learn. But the person over there, and the I get on the day. I want to come together, but this is something that we agreed. So with time, you don't need that much sound. We are saying for what you want to cater for, this is what you will need. So your concept. When you are speaking the vision, we are making it a reality. And for that, and in the process, so I change. No, we are just giving expert advice over your whatever event that you are doing.
No, let the question, they call out all for experience.
Yes.
You know, that proper development,
yes.
The impact and the good thing.
Yeah.
Automate relationship. Because we have a pandemic.
Yeah.
And then it's a pandemic.
Yes. When you do not develop yourself, the problem is that you are going to grow jealous of those who are developed. One of the major things, I've seen couples who have said, right over that city, one of the partners is jealous of the success and the happiness of the other person. This is normal. It's normal. But the ones who are less developed, they hear it as judgment because they cannot, even if recover a week
or attack.
Yeah, attack. And then when I would do it as a camera, I receive what I'm saying with grace. So the greatest challenge, you are going to blame others, you are going to be miserable, and you are going to be depressed. You are not going to be a happy person. And about to come around you, no. It's because when I developed myself, when I salute you more, when my success becomes a threat towards you, you are going to feel and live a life that is lonely. Because I want to we are able to tell man, hey, change conversation, the lack of self-development. They are moving. And because of that, just speed. When I speed more, when I no. So to avoid such, even in relationships, to why? Every day. So pizza, to them it's a way of life. When I ever judgment, why is because you are not developed.
Or fruit salad.
Fruit salad. No. Because we have developed ourselves. That is why we do not see that. To put it in one single way, when you are less developed, you begin to see life in a straight line, which is not right.
Thank you very much, family, for tuning in and watching our episode. And we are still appealing. From our steps, we can see that you love our content. And it shows the duration. Le subscribe, attract more guests, le comment, le like, and le share content to family and friends. From another host, until we meet again, Mshak.